Hey, welcome to Ampersand Prep's Vocabulary and Context video. Vocabulary and context can be kind of tricky to prepare for the SAT and the ACT. While a tutor like me can be relatively sure of the math and the grammar content that you will be tested on, I will never be absolutely sure of the vocabulary questions you will see. The difference between maybe a 1550 and a 1600 on the SAT or a 35 and a 36 on the ACT is whether or not the test taker was lucky enough to come across vocab questions that they knew the vocabulary word for. That being said, there are two things that we can do to give ourselves the best shot at getting the highest score possible with the vocabulary and context questions. The first thing you are going to do is develop your word wardrobe. You can think of a word wardrobe as a place to store all of the words you know and feel confident using. I want you to feel empowered to use a word for effect, like you would your favorite band t-shirt, scarf, or hat. I have provided some links here to get you started. Have a healthy level of skepticism for anyone who tells you that they have scoured the last so many tests and created a comprehensive list of the vocabulary you will see on the test. That's simply not a thing anyone can guarantee. You can, however, go through these links and find words you do not know to get started on your word wardrobe. There is one exception. The word ambivalence is, in my opinion, the most tested word. I believe this is because people generally think it means not caring, when it actually means simultaneous conflicting feelings. Make heavy use of the etymology dictionary. Take note of prefixes and suffixes. Learning about the history of a word will help you understand better how it is used in context. Feel empowered to use Wikipedia to develop a deeper understanding of a word. So I know you've been taught to not use Wikipedia as a source, and while this is correct for citing, say, a research paper, since Wikipedia is democratically developed, it is an excellent resource to help you understand what the zeitgeist understands about a word. Remember, language is not discovered or decided by a committee of experts. Rather, it is developed through common understanding and social interaction. Finally, you want to write a sentence using the word to further develop your contextual understanding. Don't just limit your word wardrobe to just the vocabulary and context words. Learning what the actual definitions of words like root versus factor will only help your overall test score because it will help your math score. I've created a second tab for transition words and phrases. They generally fall into these categories. As you work through the test, make sure you are capturing these words in your wardrobe as well. The second thing you want to do is take practice tests. I'm pulling a question here from the question bank, which I wouldn't recommend using until you've gotten through the practice tests. But the important thing is to practice questions. So let's work through this one. I want you to notice a couple of things. Oftentimes there's a not before the space. Also notice the colon here. So a colon, as any good grammar student knows, is a verbal equal sign. So whatever goes here needs to make sense with those. So you want to make sure you're understanding how the word is going to fit into the entire passage. Roger Long, the protagonist of Samuel R. Delany's 1966 novel Babel 17, is a poet, an occupation which, in Delany's work, is not blank. Which is to say, nearly a dozen of the characters that populate his novels are poets or writers. So notice I use the colon as a which is to say because that's essentially what it is. This is really helping me work out that the correct word should be atypical. So I want you to notice that I use the context to assist me. I didn't let the context be more of a problem for me to work through. The context made my job easier. All right, I wish you all the best of luck in your vocabulary and context pursuits, and I will see you in the next video.